Coming up on First at 4, a Southern Kentucky man is arrested after police say he took part in a multi-county scam. And one Harlan County man is making some big changes. We take a look at his journey from coal miner to respiratory therapist.
And we're inching closer to Turkey Day. We're also inching closer to a big change in the forecast. I'll have the breakdown coming up. First at 4 is next.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News First at 4.
Good afternoon, I'm Steve Hensley. First at 4, a South Central Kentucky man thought he was getting a great deal on a driveway paving job, only to be scammed. Police in Washington County say the victim nearly lost thousands of dollars. But the suspect, who is from Somerset, is in jail, and the victim was able to get his money back. WYMT's Phil Pendleton has more on what happened.
And I am standing just off of Cardwell Tableau Road in Willisburg near the Washington, Anderson, and Mercer County line. I am told this is an area that these people targeted, going after people simply with driveways that are not paved. And the Washington County Sheriff says this man is the ringleader, 30-year-old Travis Beach of Somerset. He's accused of tricking a 75-year-old man with dementia into thinking he was getting a driveway paved for $80. But when the victim handed over a blank signed check, Chief Deputy Lynn Davis says Beach filled in $8,000 instead of $80. This all happened back on November 15th. Beach was later found and arrested in Pulaski County.
He admitted what his role was in the driveway job. While we was talking with him, he called one of the other suspects, and that suspect got one of his family members to meet us at a local church and gave us the victim's $8,000 back in cash.
Travis Beach is facing a charge of theft, also a charge of knowingly abuse or neglect of an adult. He is in the Marion County Jail. In Washington County, Phil Pendleton, now back to you.
The Washington County Sheriff says they plan to make more arrests. From coal miner to respiratory therapist, one Harlan County man has decided to change careers. Jonathan Holbrook says when he graduated from high school in 2005, he went right to work in the coal mines. But a few years ago, he was laid off from the mining company he worked for and decided to go to college to become a respiratory therapist. And through help from the Harlan County Community Action Agency and Southeast Kentucky Community and Technical College, he will soon be able to help patients. As for what motivated the big decision, he said he's doing what he feels is best for his family.
I thought I was going to retire from the mines, but, just seeing the way the economy's got and the downtrend of the coal mines, I figured, everything's pretty well shutting down around here, and I didn't want to uproot my family and to go chase the coal mines.
Jonathan tells us he plans to continue his education to earn his bachelor's degree in teaching.
Yet another chilly day in the mountains for us today, but still a nice looking day. You just walk outside and realize, oh, I should have grabbed the jacket before I left the house this morning. As we look out at our time-lapse camera from I-64 at Moorhead, very few clouds, just a few high clouds working through the region as we've gone through today. Not looking too bad. London Corbett Airport, trust me when I say it's sunny out there. Having a few difficulties there with the camera. Sitting at 40 right there. That is correct. And a lot of us in those low 40s, even upper 30s at this hour. Pikeville's at 38. It's 45, though, in Jacksboro, our warm spot this afternoon. And our usual cool spot-wise at 34. Now, a few of those high clouds continuing to try to work into the Cumberland Valley right now. Shouldn't be too much of an issue when it comes to marring that beautiful blue sky we have outside. However, it could provide for a pretty nice sunset here in the next couple of hours, so keep an eye on that. Keep also that WYMT weather app handy, especially if you're traveling for the Thanksgiving holiday, because, well, as we head into tonight, if you're maybe leaving late tonight to get to your destination tomorrow, in the upper 20s as we head into the nighttime hours tonight, but a rebound on the way. I'll have the latest coming up in just a few minutes. Steve?
Evan, thank you. The suspect in the Waukesha, Wisconsin parade tragedy is due in court late this afternoon to face initial charges. He's accused of barreling through the event with his car Sunday, killing 5 people and injuring 48 others. As CBS's Nancy Chen reports, he was apparently captured on video from a doorbell camera just 20 minutes after the carnage.
A doorbell camera appears to show Brooks on a front porch about a half-mile from the Waukesha parade route, where he's accused of plowing through a crowd, killing 5 people and wounding dozens more.
I called an Uber, and I'm supposed to be waiting for it over here, but I don't know when it's coming. Can you call it for me, please? I'm homeless.
Resident Daniel Ryder, who had no idea what had just happened, let a shoeless Brooks use his phone and even got him a coat and a sandwich.
This whole time, he's got my phone. So when I'm getting messages to shelter in place and there's a suspect on the loose, he's got the phone getting those messages. I am oblivious.
Soon after, police arrived.
In a roundabout way, maybe I helped. I slowed him down for 10 minutes.
Brooks had a long rap sheet dating back to the 90s. Earlier this month, he was accused of intentionally running over his child's mother with his vehicle. He posted $1,000 bail just 2 days before the parade incident, an amount the Milwaukee DA now concedes was inappropriately low.
I could tell there was a lot of damage.
Brian Conkey was watching his 11-year-old niece Jesselyn Torres perform in the parade when the red SUV tore down the street. She suffered serious injuries.
She said, tell them to glue me back together.
Among the 5 people killed, members of the Dancing Grannies. Nancy Chen, CBS News, Waukesha, Wisconsin.
A new poll shows support for stricter gun control is at its lowest level since 2014. New numbers from Gallup show 52% of Americans say the laws covering firearm sales should be stricter. In 2019, support for stricter gun laws was at 64%, and that dropped to 57% in 2020. Gallup notes American support for stricter gun laws usually goes up after a high-profile mass shooting and drops during periods without such events. Unruly airline passengers prepare to pay up. This morning, the Federal Aviation Administration announced fines it's levied against disruptive passengers. The agency says just 8 passengers faced fines totaling $161,000. One of the passengers accounts for a quarter of that total, being fined almost $41,000 for allegedly bringing their own alcohol aboard a Southwest flight and sexually assaulting a flight attendant. The newest set of fines come as the airline industry prepares to handle an estimated 20 million travelers during the Thanksgiving holiday. Well, get this, Portugal has just made it illegal for bosses to contact employees outside of working hours. The goal, a better work-life balance for people working from home. Under this new law, employers face a fine if they call, text, or email their employees outside of their scheduled workday, and it applies to all employees, not just those working from home. For home workers, though, the law also says employers must also pay working from home expenses such as increased electricity, gas, and internet bills. Many in the country's capital city of Lisbon say the law was needed.
I know what my colleagues and I went through in the lack of regard for working hours, because they're not respected. People nowadays have to be available 24 hours a day because they have a company cell phone or a work computer. People have to have their own lives.
It is unclear how this law will be enforced, but it was one of the last measures taken by Parliament before it was dissolved ahead of an election next year, where jobs and the economy are likely to be main issues. Set over to Wall Street now on this Tuesday. The Dow closes up more than 194 points. We'll have more financial news in our next half hour. A couple in Colorado wants to make people aware of an Uber driver scam. Brian Johnson and his wife Jada became victims of the scam, noticing a $150 charge the morning after what they saw as a normal ride. Turns out the charge was a cleaning fee, as the driver claimed Jada threw up in his car. The driver even uploaded evidence, a photo of the mess. Despite this, the pair are adamant that did not happen and were baffled by the situation. Brian uploaded the image to Google, which gave them an interesting result.
First, 3 images is the same exact image that popped up as the one they sent over to us.
So they say the driver was using a photo from an old complaint from someone else and claiming it was from this ride. Thankfully, Uber did reverse the charge and released a statement saying, quote, "In instances where we find a confirmed case of fraud, we take appropriate action, including removing the driver from the app." However, a spokesperson would not confirm if the driver is banned from the app. Flu outbreaks are already popping up in some parts of the country. Healthcare experts weigh in on what a bad flu season could mean for hospitals that are already stressed.
And we've got another system headed our way as we head towards our Thanksgiving holiday. On the very latest on the way.